Speaking of Runics, did we talk about Runics? No. Sleipnir, the Runick main, level 9 fusion effect monster. Now, I personally did not expect it. I did not expect more Runick support, but here we are, and I'm here for it. You guys know I love Runics. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect. You can target a face-up monster they control, banish it and this card until the end phase. Now that's a phenomenal removal effect in my opinion for Runics, because Runics by default has a problem with removing monsters, you know, and that was like this card alone I think makes all of the bad Runick cards so much better. Right? I think this makes all of the bad Runick cards so much better, because now if I have a golden droplet going second, I don't need to go into my battle phase to force a negation or something. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to go Gary Crash or some stuff like that. I can just summon this, banish, and force like the Barone, the whatever. I can force whatever I want, right? So that's really good. And then the second effect, if your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand, you can special summon a Runick token in attack position. This one I don't quite understand. Like, you know, I don't really understand why we get tokens from this, but I guess we do. It's a generator lore reference. Do Runics have something to do with generators? Is Runick part of some other lore? I don't really know that. Oh, it is. It's part of another lore. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Janice, think of it as 6 months. Okay. Well, level 9 also gives you some other options with this, like depending on what Runick version you play, maybe rank 9s become an option. It is worth noting, I want to say one thing. This effect is not something like... This is not during the turn this is summoned or only while it's in the extra monster zone. You can repeatedly use this over and over and over again, right? You summon this in the extra monster zone, you banish an opponent's monster, in the end phase, both come back, next turn, you can do it again, right? You can just, like, hop in and out with the Runick, with this thing, right? And always banish one monster every turn. So it's basically continuous removal for every turn. I think this is really good. I think this card is very strong. It's only during your main phase or their battle phase, but still, like, it's still really, really powerful. Imagine having 3 of these in play. Well, they are hard once per turn, so that does not work. Otherwise, that would be insane. Yeah, otherwise you would be right. If you could establish multiples of these, like, you can just basically, like, you know, hop in and out, like, basically get rid of your opponent's entire board every time. But it is hard once per turn, so that's good. Sometimes it gives you a free token. I think this second effect is only like a bonus. It is funny that you can now actually fuse into your Runick fusion monsters with like polymerization, because like this comes back in the main monster zone and the tokens are also in the main monster zone, so you can just like poly for the Runics sometimes if you want to. I don't know why you would do that, but like you can. But yeah, this card is great for Runics. I'm excited for this card. I'm very excited for this card. I know people don't love Runics as much. I personally think Runics are great card design. I'm a big fan of Runick. I'm not a fan of Runick Stun, but other than that, I love Runics. We will talk more about Runick when we're doing the ban list discussion this week. Sadly, I think we do need to talk about Runick when we are talking about the next ban list. Unfortunately, but yeah. Hue Cicero, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate the support. Welcome. I love Naturia Runick, my favorite deck right now. I think the Runick decks that are not Runick Stun are, of course, the Fountain Draws seem really they seem really powerful and really broken. But one thing I really appreciate about Runick decks is how they they feel like a very cool solution to modern Yu-Gi-Oh, where I think it's a really cool concept where every card is a utility card, but also a an extender, right? Where you have to choose what you want right now from each individual Runick card. They can either be your extenders, they can be your removal, your utility cards. I think that is a very cool design. Yeah, and Fountain, I mean, as busted as Fountain is, I think Fountain is what keeps the entire deck together. Like, without Fountain, Runics would not be good.